Hey guys, this week's mitzvah is mezuzah. Everyone knows what a mezuzah is. It identifies your home as a Jewish home, and it's really a Jewish home protection system. The mezuzah clarifies to anyone passing by, this is a Jewish home watched over by God. It's a pride, it identifies you, but it's so much more than that. There were so many times where the Rebbe wrote to people who were struggling with physical problems or emotional problems to check the mezuzah, to make sure it's a kosher mezuzah. And this week we're really promoting the idea of having a kosher mezuzah, to have a kosher scroll inside, and we have a beautiful mezuzah fund. And please reach out to us if you need a mezuzah for your home or office or anywhere. This week's Torah portion, Tavo, talks about when the Jewish people will enter the land of Israel. And it starts off with the mitzvah of bikurim, the first fruits. This was the mitzvah when you had a Jewish farmer in the land of Israel who was growing his fruits. He would bring the first ones that grew to the temple, bring it in a basket and give it to the priest. And there was like this long thing that he said, saying thank you to God for the fruits. And it was a history of how we were slaves in Egypt, and God took us out and he brought us to this land, to a land flowing with milk and honey. And when you look at the words that the farmer says, you're wondering, like, what's the connection with this whole history of Abraham and how we became slaves? What does that have to do with the first fruits? It's an important lesson in saying thank you. So many times, growing up, you constantly hear parents, I do this myself. We tell our children, say please and thank you. Make sure you say thank you. And the kid goes, thank you, right? We say the words thank you. But thank you is so much more than just saying those two words. It's understanding what that person actually did for you. When the farmer is giving those fruits to the priest at the temple, he's not just saying, thank you, God. He's saying, I understand all that it took for me to get here where I am right now and to be in a position where I have this produce. And I know it all comes from you, God. It's so much more when we appreciate what the other person has done for us and we acknowledge. We actually say thank you, not just thank you, but we say thank you for X, Y, and Z. I know that wasn't easy for you to do. Thank you for taking the time. Thank you for listening. Thank you is such an important thing, and a lot of times it just becomes routine. So let's take a moment when someone does something nice for us. Let's say thank you, but let's really mean it. Let's really appreciate what that other person has done. Let's appreciate the blessings God has given us in our own lives. And let's really appreciate it. Let's not just say, oh, thanks, God. Let's really appreciate what he has done for us. Shabbat Shalom.
Good job,